introductory talk on the session. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It is our privilege to have with us today a distinguished scholar and an eminent figure in the field of Sanskrit studies, Professor P.C. Murali Madhavan. Professor P.C. Murali Madhavan studied Alankara Shastra and Navya Nyaya under his father, Professor P.C. Vasudevan Iyer. He pursued his undergraduate studies at the University of Calicut, postgraduate studies at Madras, and research programs at the Central Sanskrit University, New Delhi. He holds 2 doctorate degrees, one in Sahitya from the Central Sanskrit University and another in Nyaya from the University of Calicut. His academic journey includes serving as lecturer, reader, professor, and dean in prestigious institutions like Sahitya Deepika Vidyaveda, Rashtriya Sanskrit Sansthan, Sri Shankaracharya Sanskrit University, and Sanskrit Vidyaveda Village. He has also contributed as Director of Planning at Kaladi University and as a member of the Planning Board at the Central Sanskrit University, Delhi. Professor Murali Madhavan's contribution to research are remarkable, with over 100 research articles and 25 published books to his credit. He has also guided and produced 30 doctorates from various universities. His influence extends beyond academics as he has served as a member of the Sanskrit Advisory Board at Sahitya Academy, New Delhi, the founder chairman of CIF Research Institute, chairman of the Kunyuni Raja Academy, Alua, and vice president of the Kerala Sanskrit Academy. He is the recipient of several prestigious national awards, including the Rashtrapati Puraskar, Kalidas Puraskar, Mandinath Puraskar, Vijnanapida Award, Parikshit Raja Puraskar, and Devi Prasadam Award. Currently, he serves as the Director-in-Chief of Kandalur Shala, Institute for Higher Studies and Research, Ancient Indian Wisdom, Thiruvananthapuram. With such a remarkable career, it is truly an honor to have him here with us. I invite Professor P.C. Murali Madhavan to deliver the introductory talk. Please join me in welcoming him with a round of applause.
To give the introductory talk.
भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवांसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः. Beloved Professor Ashalata Tamburan, who is heading this academic event at the capital of Kerala, Trivandrum, in connection with the Vastu Vidya Pratishthan. Professor Balagopalan T.S. Prabhu, who is a great Mahaguru of Vastu Vidya, who is sitting in front of me. Professor Matthews, Professor Girishan, other Brahmashri Malipayor. There are 2 words occurred in that prayer. One is Aruval and the other one is Jnana. Normally, people in Kerala, they treat these words as synonyms. But there is a gulf of difference between these 2 words. Arudha can be translated into English as information, and Jnanam is the perennial knowledge, the final destination. So this is well explained or well depicted in our sacred texts like Upanishads, Aranyakas, and such great ancient Vedic scripture texts, Paravidya and Aparavidya. Paravidya is something very unique which you are going to attain through these other physical knowledges in the world. These type of informations. So informations finally lead you to the final destination, the final emancipation, the final what we call the acquirement of the knowledge. So this has been well depicted in this today's morning prayer. So who composed that prayer really is a great person because he has coined both the terms in a very befitting manner with propriety in the words. So first of all, I congratulate that man who, I don't know who has composed it, but it has composed very philosophically, knowing the para and avara vidya and the great tradition of Bharat and these things. Today morning, when inaugurating this great event, Brahmasri Kanipayur Krishna Namboodiripad has given whatever he has put in a nutshell. In a sentence, we can say that the Vastu and Vastu, these two things, is not different things, but the knowledge about Vastu is Vastu. Vastu is the thing, as our Upanishad says, is a great connotation. The Vastu, what Upanishad says is that Vastu, the Satchidananda Advayam Brahma, says that the permanent thing. So Vastu deals with whether even you, when you take even this mobile, in this mobile there is a Vastu. And that Vastu is combined with these two. As I told you earlier in the beginning, these two things, the permanent and non-permanent, the para and avara, the perishable and non-perishable. This has been presented very beautifully in the olden times, in all our shastras, and this is the crux for what is put in a nutshell, what in the beginning, in the inaugural speech, our Kanipayur Krishna Namboodiripad has mentioned. So, when you speak about Vastu, there are two parts. One is a kind of information, and the other one is in the form of jnana, the final knowledge. That is in the form of Brahman. It is called Satchidananda Advayam Brahma. So, Vastu is not simply, even though nowadays, not only here, all Indian technical words, starting from Vedas, Upanishads, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads, Dharma Shastra texts, then epics, all these our scriptural texts, they put forth several technical terms with great implication, there are several layers of meaning behind it, but we use it in a very insignificant meaning nowadays. Vastu is one among them. So, what this Vastu Vidya Pratishthan should do, my precise humble request to Professor Ashalata Tamburan and great pioneers in the field, because as Professor Ashalata morning told, we heard from her horse mouth that she is perhaps the first student of Vastu Vidya in Kerala, perhaps. Then only recently now I met some people doing research in Vastu Vidya in Shankaracharya University and in other centers also. But can we plan something very serious? because government of India is very particular and they insist upon the IKS system, the Indian knowledge system, and among the Indian knowledge system, they are always welcoming or giving much significance or priority, so to say, for the bridging the tradition and modernity. That can be about linguistics, that can be in literature, that can be in philosophy, that can be in Vastuvidya, physical shastra. It can be any system of knowledge. We had our own system in India. The present system, to what extent it can compete with our traditional system, that's also very doubtful. When you see the Konark temple, the architecture, the science behind it, can be the present engineers can do such a monumental work? These problems are there. So what I want to say is that Vastuvidya Pratishthan, if they take up, there is a Ashtadashi project is coming, Government of India. I am also supposed to be a member of that. So that's why I am telling. Ashtadashi project is 18 projects. Ashtadashi means 18. 18 projects, Government of India, they launch in the month of January, and the site will open. You can apply for that, and you can maximum for an individual. They will give 10 lakhs of rupees for research, and for a group or for an institution, they will provide up to 30 lakhs of rupees. So, receiving this grant, vigorous research works and advancements in the several areas of knowledge systems are happening in even in this small state Kerala. So, Vastuvidya Pratishthan should apply for that thing, and you can have a very wonderful project how to bridge our traditional knowledge of Vastuvidya with the modern engineering systems. And I think details you have to work out in the coming days. Such a proposal I want to put forth, for which you will get money, that is one thing. The second thing, the main lakshya, goal of establishing this Vastuvidya Pratishthan can be materialized by those projects. So this will be a very serious research project where you can employ the modern researchers and also what we call the sciences products. Then nowadays the problem, one serious problem, what we face is that the scientists or engineers or scientists, they are not having sufficient background of Sanskrit knowledge. They don't have that knowledge, information, preliminary information about whether it is Vastuvidya or Ayurveda or Ganita, whatever it may be. And when you speak about the Sanskrit people, they don't have the scientific approach or scientific information or knowledge of modern sciences. This should be bridged. This should be bridged. So there should be the on war footing. This should be organized. Very serious debates and dialogues between Sanskritists and scientists. For that also, Vastuvidya can come forward. You can give a project for that to organize several Shilpashala, several workshops throughout Kerala in different important towns and basing on or concentrating in some engineering colleges. So with such some new proposals, I will read my introductory speech, and finally, if we want to have some discussion, that can be done later. It is a matter of great pleasure to hear in this conference organized by Vastuvidya Pratishthan, especially to preside over a session on Sthapatyaveda. Even though it is very popular that Sthapatyaveda is a synonym of Vastu Shastra, I could come across only few references on Vastu in Atharvaveda. There are 4 Upavedas, namely Ayurveda, which is connected with Rigveda, Dhanurveda, which is connected with Yajurveda, and Gandharvaveda, which is connected with Samaveda, and Sthapatyaveda with Atharvaveda. While researching the context of Sthapatyaveda Shastra, or rather in the ancient times it is known as Shilpa Shastra, they never use Vastu. Vastu is a modern term. Modern is not that much modern, but it is not in the ancient scripts. So there is whether it is a Shilpa Shastra, we could come across only few mantras in the Samhita portion of Kanikayu Namburipada is the best expert in our midst to give authentic information about this. So there is about these mantras in the Samhita portion of Atharvaveda. Here I was compelled to go further in the other genres of Vedic literature, namely Brahmanas, Aranyakas and Upanishads. I could gather some portions from Brahmanas and Aranyakas, but Aranyakas it is very little, but Brahmanas are having very huge amount of descriptions regarding connected with Sthapatyaveda, where you have to construct the Yajna Vedic and connected with those things, Garuda Chayana, Shayana Chayana, and so many things related to Vedic geometry, so to say. These portions in Brahmanas and Aranyakas related to Sthapatyaveda, rather, as we say, Shilpa Shastra. But it was a matter of great astonishment to a normal Sanskrit man like me to find an Upanishad in the name of Vastu. Normally, physical Shastras and when you consider Shastra as a physical Shastra, you cannot expect a Upanishad on that. Upanishad deals with Vedanta or philosophy, so to say. So, it is the final thing and that is pure knowledge, the final destination as I told you in the beginning. Then how you can have expected? But in Vastu, there is an Upanishad. Only in Vastu there is Upanishad. That is why in the beginning I told that Vastu is not simply a physical Shastra. It is as it's a old Virat, so to say. It is comparison with the Virat, the entire universe. It is with full of para and apara, with the Jada and Chaitanya, both combined together, becoming one.
Yes.
So, Vastu, there is an Upanishad in the name of Vastu,
Shatra.
with the title Vastu
Shastra Upanishad.
Vastu Sutra Upanishad. Vastu Sutra Upanishad, which exclusively deals this Sthapatyaveda, that is rather called as Shilpa Shastra. The text, that is why this is Sthapatyaveda session. Even though it is Vastuvidya, how Sthapatyaveda and this Vastu, how they are interconnected or rather has brought the same line. The text of this Upanishad with English translation and notes. Why I say this? Because youngsters, several researchers in engineering field, in Vastu Shastra subject, they do serious research. Most of the, I am very much disappointed that I have not seen any serious study about this Vastu Sutra. Such an authentic one, with the 36 Prabhatras, written by Pipalada. I am giving the details of that. The text of this Upanishad was with English translation and notes, was first published by a foreign scholar, Alice Brower, with the assistance of Sadashiva Sharma from Varanasi and Mrs. Bettina, published by Motilal Banarasi Das, Delhi, first in 1982 with the succeeding editions in 1986 and 1996. Altogether there are 3 editions. I could not see any serious or in-depth study on this Vastu Sutra Upanishad, by which normally it is quite disappointing. From the context, I could realize that all major topics of Vastu is being discussed authentically in this text. It is just like Vyakarana Panini Sutra. Small sutras. You know, our tradition is like that. All our shastras, they are written in small aphorisms. It is called aphorism. Small sutras. And that being commented upon in detail, in prose, and even in poetry. There is 2 great traditions. Commenting in poetry style, commenting in prose style. Both. I could realize that all major topics of Vastu is being discussed authentically in this text. In a sentence, I can express my opinion about this English translation and edition of the text. That the Western scholar who translated into English lacks cultural orientation of Indian community. Since the scholar failed in finding logic in several acharas, anushtanas, and also faiths. Vastu Shastra is based upon several acharas, several anushtanas are there, because that is the backbone of our Indian tradition. Ignoring that, you cannot bring a Shastra here, or you cannot discuss a Shastra. So, this has not been digested as far as the Western editor and commentator is concerned. So, I am not going further into detail about this text because that is not my subject now. It is only, my function is only to give a small introduction about the entire thing. So, but I would like to request this August Assembly of MCAs. There are really interested, those who are really interested in Vastu Vidya, even Vastu Vidya Palestine can take up this thing. This also can be included in your project, Vastu Sutra Upanishad. How you take it and make it with the help of Sanskrit scholars. You first organize a Shilpashala. How the methodology of translating it without losing its acharas, anushtanas and other things which I have already told you. You can give a big project to the central ministry and they will give some fund for that. But why I have introduced this Vastu Shastra Upanishad, I should make it very clear that this text belongs to Upanishad category, and Upanishad is one of the genres of Vedic literature. There are 4 genres of Vedic literature, 4 types: Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. So Upanishad also is a Vedic literature. It is also a Vedic text. So the time of the composition of this Upanishad is said to be of the same time frame of several other Upanishads, that is from 1st century AD to 5th century AD, according to the great Indologists who have done in-depth research in the field. The other Upavedas, namely Ayurveda, Dhanurveda and Gandharva Veda, they does not have an authentic text